And welcome back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in as always. I appreciate that. Today we'd like to talk to you about Underrail. That was released late last year. Didn't get as much attention as it should. Now what is Underrail? Well, it's a project that's been in the works for around 7 years by mostly one guy. And Underrail is heavily inspired by those classic isometric RPGs like Fallout 1 and 2, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, you know, those older games. Now, Underrail inherits most of the best things that the genre has to offer, but also some of the flaws, unfortunately. Now, you start by choosing a gender, a portrait, and some skill points you're gonna put in the available abilities. Also, you choose some perks for some extra bonuses. And then you're basically off in this post-apocalyptic, isometric underground world full of caves, abandoned railway stations, bunkers, compounds, warehouses, never really knowing what's around the corner. That's really nice. The sense of exploration that you'll get from this game is just astounding. Now, graphics have this classic look to them. They're simple but effective with little details and animations here and there. You know, don't expect AAA title budget glossy graphics and stuff, but it's nice and clean. It works, and it also has a really good appropriate music to the different areas. So like when you visit this military faction, you'll hear this. Now there are a lot of NPCs to meet and rivaling factions, as I said. Unfortunately, throughout the game you're pretty much an errand boy, fetching items for NPCs. It does get better along the way, and at some point you have to make some game-changing choices, which is cool. Now because of the isometric view, some lootable assets like lockers and desks and other stuff is easily missed because they're sort of obscured or hidden behind walls of the levels. So these are easily overlooked. But that comes with the design. Now levels are, I think, well designed, isometrically, usually allowing for more than one approach, which is good because, and this is really the core of the game, because you're leveling and you can shape your character the way you want it. There's a lot of freedom to do that. You want to be a tank, just raise your melee and gun skills. You want to be the sneaky bastard, raise your stealth and lockpicking and hacking abilities so you can sort of crawl through these ventilation shafts, avoiding contact with enemies and disabling security systems. Or, like me, if you want to be a mentalist, you can just enhance your mind control and psychic abilities, and these are really cool. I'll speak about that later. So this gives the game a lot of replay value. Like trying out different character builds, and that's just cool. Now there's a lot of looting in this game, finding better items and weapons, and you can even craft new items with the stuff that you'll find along the way. If you have the appropriate skill for crafting, of course. Or you can barter with shop owners for items, and that's nice as well. These shop owners actually have certain demands for certain items, and you can make some extra money. Mind you, this game is not easy. There is no map, no waypoints. The game won't tell you if a quest is doable for your character level, so this is kind of hardcore, even on the easy difficulty level. Now combat is turn-based. You get a limited amount of action points to spend on maneuvers, like moving your character around and shooting your guns, or using your abilities. Again, also, combat is not easy. Many times you have to fight multiple enemies, and again, the view on the action can sometimes be obscured by the isometric level design. You know, it's easy to get cornered and you hardly see how many enemies are upon you. And also, I would have liked to have the option to recruit a companion. I mean, wandering alone in this hostile underground world and, for instance, fighting 4 NPCs and 2 dogs at once is hard enough, but also not very realistic. Still, it is fun, especially using your mental abilities, like when setting the room on fire and dealing a lot of damage to the enemies that are there. So that's just amazing. The biggest flaw of the game is actually the interface. It's all a bit clunky. If you open up the inventory, which is nicely arranged by the way, but the whole inventory screen will obscure most of the view on the game world, which is a shame because some items from your inventory need to be interacted with stuff in the game world itself. So you need to click the window away and then click on the specific thing in the world that you need to interact with. So it's a bit cumbersome at times. And the same goes for the mouse controls. It can be problematic. Now, on more than one occasion I wanted to shoot my gun, but instead my character registered to move. Now obviously I didn't click precise enough, but it's just a bit unforgiving. In conclusion, Underrail is a very good RPG. It follows the formula of the classic Fallout games, but it adds a lot of new combat variety, especially through the use of these psychic powers. So this comes highly recommended. It's $15. It's worth your money. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe and see you next time.